It is going to be a thrilling title race in Spain from now until the end of the season. It keeps flip-flopping 1 week to the next. Barcelona back top above Real Madrid by a single point. They both played 25 games. It is Barca with the considerably better goal difference. Really easy does it, I think, for them with that victory. And they showed Real Madrid this is how you play a team that's lower than you in the table and get it done easily.
It just seemed like it was order restored today, and for a lot of reasons, right? You look at the 11 and you think, okay, Rafinha's back in. You think Lewandowski's back in up top. I just thought that after the first couple jitters of getting in behind, and credit to Levante for getting in behind that high line. Everyone's getting in behind. You and I could get in behind that high line, Adam, given how easy it's been. They just had this professionalism about them, and it really showed on the scoreboard. Overall, they were kind of wasteful in the first half. They get the goal from Frenkie de Jong, and I think that calmed a lot of nerves. The big one for me, though, I thought both fullbacks in João Cancelo and Jules Koundé made this game. And for Barcelona, it was so important to get a performance out of João Cancelo. He actually won man of the match today. And Hansi Flick had been very critical of João Cancelo, saying since he's come back in his second stint, he hadn't been at the level. And after the match, Cancelo said that, yeah, he was right. Physically, he wasn't there yet, but he promises to deliver back to his best. And I thought that some of the passes that he made and some of the dribbles that he had, I mean, there were stints in this game, and I know it's Levante, but he looked like prime Cafu, bombing up and down the line, and Barcelona need more energy. They need better quality out of their fullbacks. And if I'm Alex Balde, I'm sweating a bit because Balde hasn't been good, but it's all about getting the 3 points and being back at top of La Liga.
You're right, though. Levante did create some opportunities. It certainly wasn't all Barcelona. I think when you look at the scoreline, you think, oh, this was a one-way traffic, but Levante did create some things. And I think when we look at Barcelona, we obviously talk about the high line. That was a huge topic of discussion earlier on this season, last season, but it seems that that is the Flick way. He's going to stick like that, and who cares if it's a basketball game and you score a few goals, we're going to score more than you. And I think that really is what we're going to see from now until the end of the season. He's not going to change anything.
Look, the benefit of having the high line that Barcelona has, and you have to go back to last season, for as much as they drew teams offside, their front three were playing out of their minds. I mean, they were scoring for fun. And for Hansi Flick with Barcelona, his philosophy is simple. If you get 2 goals, we'll get 4 or 5, right? If you get 4 goals, God forbid, we'll get 6 or 7. I mean, they want to outscore every team. But the big problem with that is what happens when your front three isn't delivering in the way that it was last season. Robert Lewandowski looked like at times he was playing with cement in his boots in the final third. And he's a legend of the game. He's given so much to the club, but yet again, not clinical enough in the final third. The biggest positive for me was prior to this match, Hansi Flick, he called out his team. And he questioned and asked, where are the leaders? He said he wanted leaders to step up in this game. One player that the numbers won't truly tell had a good performance today. I thought Eric Garcia was outstanding. I thought he really stepped up to be a leader in that back line. He's been one of their unsung heroes this season, and he's definitely going to get his plaudits here on scoreline. But when you look at the subs on the bench, Adam, it truly feels like this is a big stepping stone for Barcelona to truly be back, because when Pedri came back on the field, it just seemed like it was an emperor coming back into Rome. Everyone was applauding, everyone was saluting, and it seemed like the season could get back on to doing what Barcelona do.
An emperor coming back to Barcelona. So much of a title race in any country is about the psychology of it, but particularly when it comes to Spain, when it is a Clásico title race where it's Real Madrid up against Barcelona. How do you think Barca feel about the title race mentally?
Yeah, I think from a psychological standpoint, they'll feel the better of the two teams. I would have had a lot of concerns if they were wasteful today, and Levante took advantage of the chances that they had. I mean, right now they have one of the best goalkeepers in world football in Jong Garcia. But when you can bring Fermin Lopez off the bench, right? You can look at Marcus Rashford back in the team. You can bring players like Pedri off the bench. You're going to feel very good about yourself. And Hansi Flick, you get the 3 points today, but they have some massive matches coming up. The Copa del Rey match. This is a Barcelona side that, I know it's going to sound crazy, I'm going to put it out there. I think they're going to get back and beat Atletico Madrid in Copa del Rey. They're that good on their day.
4-0 down.
From 4-0 down. We've seen Atleti wobble in the Champions League. No lead is safe with Cholo Simeone and Atleti. But I just have that confidence, that sort of confidence in Barcelona right now, seeing them back healthy and getting the right players back.
Do you think as well that when you look at the way that Barcelona are playing, Phil said quite well on the show yesterday, I thought he put it brilliantly, that Real Madrid are a group of really impressive players, but they're not a team. Do you think the opposite is the case for Barcelona? Obviously, it is still an impressive group of players, but they play much more like a cohesive unit compared to Real Madrid.
Yeah, they really do, and it shows in where you're getting your goals from. A player that I just mentioned, Fermin Lopez. I mean, Fermin Lopez keeps scoring goal after goal, and he gives you an end product. If it's not Fermin, it's Rafinha. And I think a lot of these players are filling in the void that's been left by Lewandowski not being clinical enough in the final third. The scariest side of Barcelona isn't just a Barcelona that gives the offside trap and is good in transition. It's a Barcelona that's a 3, 4, 5-headed monster. If you can now continue to get goals from Frenkie de Jong, it was good for him to be good in transition and get a clinical goal in the final third. If you can get good performances from Marc Bernal, who it's good to see him getting minutes, it's good to see him getting goals, you can now take the pressure off in terms of injuries, right? Think of how many minutes a lot of these Barcelona players have played since the start of last season. A Barcelona side that, because of financial restrictions, aren't able to go out and get deeper players, right? So I'm very positive about this Barcelona side, but there's a long way to go in the title race.
One thing that we have said on the show throughout the season, that if you backed Hansi Flick into a corner and said, which one do you really want to win? Is it La Liga or the Champions League? Given what happened last season in Europe and their frustration of not being able to get it done, I think that is the spot. If you got to win one, you're going to win the Champions League. How does that affect the way that Barcelona are going to go about the rest of the title race? Will that affect it, do you think?
I think really for Hansi Flick, one of the positive news is that he got, and I said news is news, right? We speak English here. One of the biggest piece of news that he got recently is that they might be getting Gavi back. And so there is pending depth for Barcelona where you can now start to rotate and not lose quality. Last season, in the stretch where they were trying to balance Europe and Spanish football and Copa del Rey, they were able to just mix and match. They were able to get more depth in the midfield and really play with Pedri as your anchor, Rafinha as the heart and soul of the team, but not lose much quality. And so down the stretch, getting players like a Gavi back, getting other players healthy, that's really going to boost Barcelona's chances. I have question marks, though, when it comes to European football, if they can go the distance. Because that back line, the saves that we saw from Joan Garcia, I just wonder if they play a Bayern Munich, if they were to play an Arsenal, which we saw today, if they were to play a high-caliber team, I just don't know if Garcia is going to have enough saves to be Superman on the day to get him out of jail.
For me, another factor, I know it's not full and finished yet, but having the Nou Camp back as their home stadium rather than we saw last season playing in the Olympic Stadium, even for the semi-final, that was at the Olympic Stadium, it must help as well being back in sort of your spiritual home when it comes to the title race.